Hello, tea lovers. Welcome to Rebecca's Tea Cozy, where we share a love of tea and other things that are cozy to nourish our bodies and our souls. Today, we're going to talk about a soul topic on this episode of Tea Time. This month, it's February, we celebrated Valentine's Day, at least those of us who still take stock in this holiday of love. And many of us, instead of Valentine's Day making us feel special or excited, it brings an increasing feeling of loneliness and awareness of who's not in our life. And so I wanted to reach out today to share with you some feelings that are common to all of us and some ways that we can grapple with and overcome our feelings of loneliness. So occasions such as Valentine's Day can make us feel like we're the only one in the world who doesn't have a significant other. Or maybe we have a significant other, but it doesn't look like all those people that we see posting photos of their romantic dinner, their weekend getaways, their gifts of roses, all of these flamboyant ways to express love. And so it can make us feel like we're left out, we're not loved, we'll never have somebody that will love us, we'll never be accepted. And so I wanted to just connect with you today because I know how you feel in your heart as well. And I would challenge that every single one of us that's listening right now has experienced loneliness at some point in our life or will experience loneliness at some point in our life. And I want to squelch a myth that may be out there that just because you're married or have a significant other, that you're not lonely. The reality is that even those who are married or engaged or are dating, those that live with roommates or live with their family, that have lots of best friends, all of us experience loneliness for some reason or another. Because it's not necessarily about the people that are around us, but it's the way that we're feeling inside. And there are a lot of reasons that loneliness happens. And in our society today with social media, I know that that's making it even more challenging as we compare ourselves to the perfect lives of people online. We see everybody's perfect dinner, their perfect gifts, their families posing in front of a beautiful ocean sunset scene. We see everything that they're doing in their life that looks like they're having fun and girls' weekends and getaways. And we wonder what's wrong with us because that doesn't look like my life. And I don't have friends like that. And my husband doesn't treat me that way. Or I don't have that type of connection with somebody special. And so it can make us feel even more lonely or something's wrong with us or cause all of these feelings of rejection and hurt or pain to come up. And many of us may be dealing with things that exacerbate that feeling of loneliness. We might be going through a hard time in a relationship, or maybe you're experiencing infertility and you're seeing everyone around you who is having a family and celebrating the birth of a baby. Maybe it's that you've just lost somebody special to you and it's difficult for you to understand how you're going to go forward without that person. As we grapple with these feelings inside, whether real or those that are posted that appear real, we can feel like we don't measure up and that we'll never be happy again. So I have experienced feelings of loneliness and battled this as well. And I want to share a few ways that I've learned to overcome some of those feelings when they start to hurt my insides and pull me down and separate me from life. One of the ways that I've learned to help overcome loneliness is doing something that's totally counterintuitive to my feelings, and that's to make myself vulnerable. And the thing is that the reason that I am lonely is recognizing that part of it is because I've been putting up walls over time to protect against hurt. Whether it's hurt from family, hurt from friends, hurt from experiences in my childhood, hurt from something that my husband said or did, whether intentional or unintentional. and I continue to build the walls up to protect my heart against any more hurt. But what I've come to realize is that those walls that maybe do protect me from the hurt, they also keep the good things and the positive experiences and the love from getting through into my heart. So what was meant as a self-protective strategy to make me feel better has actually backfired. It makes me feel worse because I'm not able to connect with people at a deep level, which is where you are going to experience those feelings of love and acceptance and encouragement. And so one of the things that I've had to challenge myself is how to take risks with those in my life. Now, I'm not talking about going out and sharing your heart openly with every single person that you meet, but finding somebody trusted, whether it's a significant other, whether it's a best girlfriend, whether it's somebody in your family that you have a strong connection with, and letting them know that you want to share something on your heart with them. I think that by first stepping out and letting them know that, it kind of allows them to prepare themselves to hear something that you're sharing that's deep and meaningful to you. And then it makes them more willing to be open to listening because they know that this is something serious and that you're taking a risk with your heart. It's also then bonding with somebody, because what I found is that as I share my heart with somebody that I trust, I find that they've had some of the same feelings and they weren't sure who to talk to either. So it's actually given them the ability to open up to me as well and to connect over issues, whether they're the same ones or maybe there's a different issue, but because they realize that I'm willing to trust them, then they're also willing to trust me. And so it ends up creating a stronger bond in our friendship than just the surface level, everyday to-day conversations. So that was really challenging for me. But as I've continued to take risks with sharing my heart with, again, people that I trust, it's really helped me to be surrounded by deeper friendships and stronger bonds with people. And so I would encourage you, if you're wanting to share with somebody, but you haven't because you're worried about getting hurt, to really think about somebody that you could maybe reach out to, let them know that you want to share something, kind of feel them out, see how they respond, and then to take that risk and share your heart with them and begin to build those deep relationships with people, because that's truly how you're going to be able to receive the love and the acceptance. When you keep those walls up, it's not going to get through. And so that's one way that I found, and I would encourage you, if you're somebody like me who typically guards your heart with lots of walls and protection, that you just think about starting to let a little bit of that down so that those positive emotions and supports can get in. Another way that I have started to overcome some of those feelings of loneliness is realizing that I actually have a best friend 24/7 that never leaves me. And that best friend is myself. One of the things that was really hard for me was to accept who I was, to be comfortable with myself. I would play the negative mind track all the way through over and over again in my head, criticizing, telling myself that I messed up or why didn't I do this better? And I couldn't get out of my head. And one of the things that I realized was that in doing that, I was actually being an enemy instead of a friend. I would never talk like that to somebody that I cared about. I would never tell someone the things that I would speak to myself. And I realized that this person, this self that's with me, is with me all the time. And so I'd much rather have a friendship with myself than a hatred or an enemy relationship with myself. I realized some of the detriment that it was doing to me being able to be productive, to me being able to contribute, and also to me being able to love others well. Because if I didn't accept myself and I didn't know who I was, how was I going to be able to truly serve and meet the needs of others? And so I started to become comfortable with myself. I now can go to a local cafe, by myself with a book or a journal, or just sitting there watching other people and listening in on conversations and enjoying that time immensely. It used to be that when I would see somebody alone in a cafe, I'd think, man, what's wrong with them? Are they a loser? Do they not have any friends? They don't have anybody that cares about them. And that was really judgmental and critical because, again, that's how I was talking to myself. That's what I would think. And when I flipped that script and when I said they're comfortable with who they are, they're enjoying their time just being by themselves, and I began to try that. I began to put myself in those situations and become comfortable with myself. It's truly opened up a whole new world for me. Places that I can go, time that I have when I'm by myself, instead of feeling sorry for myself or throwing a pity party, I can embrace that I've got time with just me and finding things that I can do to enhance who I am, to better myself, to spend time reflecting. And so it's just been a really positive journey that I've put myself on to help me grow in a way that in turn helps me again love others and give to them in a more meaningful way. So it's two really simple concepts, but I won't lie, they're hard. It's hard to take a risk. It's hard to step outside of yourself. It's hard to change your thinking, but they are really positive strategies that instead of spending time grumbling, complaining, feeling sorry for yourself, being stuck in a negative loop that brings you down, to again flip the script and to be able to embrace life and to be able to create relationships with others and with yourself that will help you move forward and help you truly enjoy life and the moments that you have here on earth. So I'll leave you with those thoughts to encourage your heart this weekend. And I've enjoyed sharing my time with you over a cup of tea. I hope that you're walking away with something to think about, maybe a personal challenge, or just some words to reflect on. I invite you to share a comment of something that you're thinking about or a way that maybe you've overcome loneliness that could support the others here that are also watching. So thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to our standing reservation for tea time right here at Rebecca's Tea Cozy. And until then, be blessed with a cup of tea.